here with fashion designer and artist Christina Pate, and we've been talking about radical self-expression, not only how it applies to Burning Man, but in the default world. And we wanted to do two things with Christina. One, I wanted to get some quick tips on what viewers of this broadcast might do to kind of zhuzh up what they're already wearing, something that they can find in their closet, something quick that they can wear. And then I also wanted to talk about upcycling your clothing for kind of everyday default kind of radical self-expression, and how do you want to stand out in this sort of in our everyday lives. So Christina, the floor is yours. Wanted to maybe first talk about quick tips and this idea of radical self-expression.
Okay, well, hi there, Ed. Thanks for having me. Please don't mind my dog kind of circling around. But I think radical self-expression, first of all, you need to define it for yourself and what that is. And for me, when I first started going to Burning Man, radical self-expression was quite small. And as I became more comfortable with myself and more comfortable expressing myself, it became just an integral part of my everyday life. I think the first steps for self-expression is maybe to find some other groups of people, some other friends who are also interested in that. There's nothing like having a friend hype you up with what you're wearing, and you look great, and having that confidence to wear it out there. I would start small. If you don't know how to sew, safety pins are a great way to start. You can safety pin things onto your clothing. I like using old t-shirts, old band t-shirts, and cutting out the emblems and then adding that onto jean jackets. Another easy way to get started is with a Sharpie. Did you know that Sharpie, once you put it on clothing, is washable? So that's a great way. You can always design something out and then go back with your Sharpie and trace it in. And then that way it'll be permanent. And then the next thing to graduate to would be to fabric paint. And that's something that I've been using a lot. But it's just going to be what that means to you. So if that's going to be an extra flair, if that's going to be adding lights, maybe wearing a new kind of hat, adding a scarf. But the thing about Burning Man fashion is all utilitarian. So just remember to bring things that you can use again, things that maybe just, ignite joy in you. Those are just some of my tips that come off my head first.
Okay. And you wanted to talk about upcycling and taking sort of adding new life to the clothes you already have, or taking things from the thrift store grave to being fabulous again. And I think you had some examples.
Yeah, I do actually. So these are just jean jackets that I have upcycled. And let's see, so this first jacket is the one that I've kind of started it all for me. And what I did was I took a flannel and I cut out the back and I did a little kind of happy face and I sewed it on my jacket. And then I hand painted all the little smiley faces on here. And all these smiley faces, the paint is blacklight reactive. So it kind of glows in that black light. And now I've transferred to just painting the entire jean jacket. So this is a vest that I made, and this is a band t-shirt that I've cut out, and then I've used fabric paint on the bottom to kind of extend it and drip it out. But this one is also blacklight reactive. And then I like to add all the studs and all the bling to just kind of make it shine and really make it personal.
Are those moons across the back there?
Yes, they are. Yeah, because I just figured, dark side of the moon, it just kind of, lends itself to the phases of the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. So
yeah.
So the goal is for you to find your own inspiration and not try to fit somebody else's sort of definition of fashion, and bring as much as you of your own personal self to it. And whether you're sewing it all yourself or you're reaching out to somebody else, the more that you bring into the process, whether it's your old t-shirts and jackets that you found and things that you bring to the table, makes it more personal and makes it more special in your interpretation of radical self-expression, because that's really where it should start, is the self.
Exactly. A lot of times I feel like I'm putting my hand in this stream of clothing that's going to be thrown away, and I'm picking out these gems and I'm dusting them off and I'm showing you, see, this isn't trash. And I like the idea of elevating something that we thought was trash, something that could be discarded. And now it's something that's revered, something that I like to call wearable art. And I don't think that you can really truly find that self-expression through your clothing, through mass produced clothing. It really has to be personalized. And a lot of times that's either through your hand, and if you don't feel that you're capable, then like you said, hiring somebody. Because you're extending work to an artist as well, and you're allowing them to create something for you, something really special and meaningful. And I don't think it's about having a lot of clothes. It's about having one or two really key pieces that identify who you are and extend your personality.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Christina, how do people get in touch with you?
I have a great Instagram account. Pate Kitty, Patekitty. If you type that into any multimedia search, my accounts will come up. And you can connect with me on Instagram.
All right, we are recording and you are consenting to this, correct?
Yes.
All right, I'm here with Farrell Hollowell. She's a Woodland-based artist and fashion designer, and we're here talking about radical self-expression, and our goal is to get people both ready for tonight's festivities and then maybe give you some ideas long-term how you can add some radical self-expression to your everyday life. Farrell, tell me about what you're wearing, and I wanted to get some tips for our viewers. What can they wear to try to get some radical self-expression going real quick?
Okay. Well, I'm dressed right now for going out on the worst of nights. I have my dust goggles and my complete head covering. What this item that I made here, it's called Escape, SCAPE, because you're escaping the wind, the dust, the cold, right? So what it is basically a tube. I do mine about 18 to 24 inches long. They're 30 inches wide for everyone. It's just a tube, right, with one seam. And what I do is I attach two lines to the top. That's everything. It's a head scarf, it's a throat scarf, it's a top, it's a skirt. Anyway, we can take this off. And yeah, when I put tails on everything I make. And then I realized if one tail is useful, two tails are even better. It's like opposing thumbs. So, and I never leave without a headlamp around my neck. Ouch. This actually becomes a dress. You climb in, and then maybe slide it down. Yeah.
You should be naked.
I should be naked doing this? Yeah, right. So, kind of a top. It's easier to put on when you already don't have clothes on, but
So it's a tube that is both headscarf, necklace, tube top, and skirt.
exactly. And you don't even have to sew it. Just get yourself an old long sleeve t-shirt that you don't mind cutting it up. Just cut it a tube just below the arms, right? But leave a bit of the sleeves, and you've got it. So does that make sense? So you put it on. I put the seam down the top because I often add things to the seams, like the different designs. Like I added this, these. Okay, let's try that one more time. You put it on like that. You tie it like that. You can go around again. You're completely safe. You're protected. You're anonymous. And you can get away with it nowadays. So I just want to real quick flash through some of the masks. So I'm still making masks. After 14 years at Burning Man, I started making and giving away masks there because it's vital. If you're not going to wear a mask for the week you're at Burning Man, by the end of the week, you're a mess. So these are some of the fun things I've made. This is for everyone who always wanted a beard. This is a good one here. This is really super neon, but that one, here's one. Yeah. I think Ed has one of these. And one of my personal favorites. Oh my God. Yeah. So what I suggest for this evening is I want you to take those boring face masks that you've been wearing and you can fix them up. All you need is a little hot glue and some puff balls, right? You can do all sorts of things, sequins, because you know when you're on a Zoom call like this, what are people looking at? They're looking at your face, right? And you want your mask to be a statement, and you can have a lot of fun.